Well, hey there, friends, and welcome back to Old Greenwood. Alongside Alex Margulies, I'm Mike Stephenson. We're at the Barracuda Championship for a special one-hour edition of NSN Tonight. As the golf means something now, round one going on as we tape. Already some low scores in the morning and a bunch of great guests coming up. This is always a fun event we're learning for these golfers each and every year, as they almost kind of treat it as like a little retreat and a little family vacation as well.
Yeah, it totally is. I mean, this is an awesome opportunity for them to play a different style of format. Obviously, gorgeous environment, probably one of the most picturesque in the entire
100%.
country. And I think this is kind of viewed as maybe one of those kind of treat weekends for golfers, but it's also a very challenging one because you are dealing with very different conditions, the high elevation, the Stableford format, and then as you'll hear from some golfers on the show, it's not just the elevation and the Stableford, it's the way that the golf course actually changes over the course of the day. And I'm not sure I've ever really dove that deeply into that when you're playing at 8 in the morning, it's very, very different than when you're playing at 3 in the afternoon. And as a result, a lot of guys in the early part of the day firing off some very high scores, a lot of big ones out there today.
We're going to get some perspective on that morning versus afternoon round because, yeah, the leaders in round one will go out late for round two. Best score of the day so far, courtesy of Ben Martin, 16 huge points. That's how you start things at the Barracuda Championship. He shot a 64, and we had a chance to visit with him moments after his round. We're here hanging out with Ben Martin, 16 huge points in round one. Still some golfers to play, but I feel like that might hold up at the top. How'd it feel out there? You shot a 64.
64, 18 points, or 16 points.
16 points.
I wish it was 18 points. I made 2 bogeys. It was a good morning. It's, to tell you the truth, it's a little cool in the morning. I'm getting up there in age compared to a lot of these guys, so the body wasn't moving great.
Yeah.
So my expectations were low starting the day, but drove it down the fairway on the green started on 10. And 2 putts, and then birdied the second hole and kind of got off to the races.
Well, we'd love to ask all you guys about this being such a unique event. Elevation, Stableford. Get your popcorn ready, right?
There's a lot of math going on. Like, it's a lot of guessing. You know, we're starting the morning at 3%, and we're going to 5, and then 7, and then 10. And so, luckily, Clemson education did me well.
There you go.
Does this add like more stress on the caddy? Like, I actually have never thought about that because I feel like they've got to really be more dialed in with, like, you know, being on top of that stuff. Maybe take a little pressure off of you.
I'm sure, yeah, because we want to come up. Usually, the way Luke and I work is, he's a good player too. We both played together in college, and so we kind of come up with, how far do you have? How far do you think it's playing? And so there's a few more variables, to talk through this week. But we did a good job, teamed up well. We seem to be on the same page on most shots and hit it tight a couple times.
How cool is that to be able to share this experience with a former college teammate being on your bag like that?
Oh, it's been great. He's been caddying for me for probably the last 3 years or so. And so, yeah, I think the biggest thing with a caddy is you want someone who you just enjoy spending time with.
Because you're going to be around him a lot. Exactly.
Monday to Sunday, 6, 8, 10 hours a day, depending on how long we're out here practicing. And so as long as you can stand one another and not get on each other's nerves too much, then you got a good team.
2014 was obviously a banner year for you. Your only win at the Shriners, 5 top 10s. How close are you to that form of the younger Ben Martin? And take us inside just the grind it's been the last 10 years to just keep on keeping on and staying on tour.
Man, that's the tough part about this job. I think I'm almost 38 now, and so you look back and you're like, man, 2014, 15, I'd kind of started off. I was basically a walk-on at Clemson, and so got a little bit better every year. Made All-American my senior year. Come out here on the tour, get my card, lose it, but get back out, and I'm kind of seeing progression. And then I think in any career, when you're not performing as well as you have in the past, you don't really feel like you're still ascending. It can be tough, and so it is nice to have a round like today. This year's been a grind. I haven't really performed the way I've wanted to, but if I capped it off with a good week this week, late in the season, it could turn things around.
You're in great shape after round one. South Carolina guy, what do you like about our region?
Man, I love that you don't have the humidity out here. Luke and I were just talking. I mean, we wake up, got a sweater on in the morning, and then it's perfect in the afternoon, blue skies. We don't have to worry about an afternoon thunderstorm. So that there's perks to being in South Carolina, but I love the Tahoe area.
Drink it in while you can.
In July.
So you've actually played in this tournament 3 times previously, have not made the cut yet here at the Barracuda, but now an opportunity to be in first going into day 2. What do you think was the difference for you? Is it just simply that you might just had a good day, you're feeling good, or does it now, having played here a couple times, getting used to the system, getting used to the elevation, is there a factor of that maybe helped your performance?
Yeah, I had some success over at Montreux. I think I had a couple top 10s over there when we were over there a few years ago. But yeah, like you said, no real success here at Old Greenwood yet. But it was, I think a lot of times it's not as much like the course,
just
as
maybe
much
timing,
like what
how
kind
you're
of
playing.
form, how your game is, and so. I put some decent rounds together last week in Kentucky, and didn't play as well as I wanted to on Sunday, but hopefully keep that consistency rolling from last week.
Can you tell us about your ball marker? Based on some quick research, I feel like it's unique. Tell us about it.
Well, you can't believe everything you read on the internet.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah. So is that wrong?
I used to always use a quarter like prior to 1987.
The year you were born,
yeah,
right? Okay.
And it tried to go like as early as I could find, like 64, 65, anything with a good golf score number to it. But
You've moved on from that, though, it sounds like?
I'm more practical now. I've already put it in my bag, but I use one of those ones that sticks in the ground that gets nice and
Gotcha.
That way I'm trying to help the guys I'm playing with.
Looking up
Like, hey,
everyone
man, I
else.
hit your quarter. Thanks.
Like, it was low to the ground.
Your 1980 quarter that's a little
A little
fatter than everything
thick,
else.
yeah.
Our superstitions, I guess, evolve over time.
Do
right?
you have any that are still lingering out there? Put you on the spot?
The only one I've got now is I'll usually start Thursday's round with a Titleist 1, Friday with a 2, Saturday 3, Sunday 4.
I like that. I like that. So you're going to be using those 3 and 4s this weekend, that's for sure. Let's talk about your Clemson Tigers really quick. They going to get back to the top in this new NIL transfer portal era? Because I feel like Dabo has been hesitant to really embrace all that.
Hopefully he can prove everybody wrong this year. But I saw a mock draft earlier, and we got Klubnik is back for his senior year. They had him 1 overall. Hope he lives up to that hype. And then 2 of our defensive linemen were top 10, and then Antonio Williams and our corner were both we had 5 projected first-round picks. So this hopefully is our year. I mean, we opened the year at home against LSU, so we'll find out early.
Gut check early on
what we got going.
Well, first things first. Best of luck the rest of the way. You got anything else for?
I was just going to
Ben?
ask you the mentality now going into Friday, because it may be different in the fact that the conditions, right?
Yeah.
You said even this afternoon, it could firm up, it could get windier. I guess, what is the mindset going into Friday, knowing that you're going to be playing the course in a little bit of a different fashion?
I think that's typically what you get out here, right? It's cooler, softer in the morning, and then the afternoon warms up, gets a little baked out, and the wind picks up. So traditionally here, it's going to play a little tougher in the afternoon. And you see a lot of guys come out like I did today, shoot a really good round, and then for whatever reason, Friday. So I think the goal with that, right, is you kind of, all right, yesterday was yesterday.
Right.
I'm here to do it again today.
What's my best version of today? Yeah.
Yeah, and so you can't recreate what you did the day before, but I think you try to recreate, the mindset that you had, what you can control that allowed you to play well, and not come out and try to force, all right, I got to back this up.
Well, you're certainly off to a heck of a start. 16 points, shot a 64 in round 1. It is Ben Martin. Thanks so much for the time, man, and best of luck the rest of the way. Enjoy yourself out here, too.
Thanks, guys.
All right, cool. Awesome to visit with Ben Martin, but he's not the only one who scored high today that's going to be sitting here right between us.
Yeah, how about Cameron Champ, who is from nearby Sacramento, the Roseville native, coming out with a 13-point day number 1. We had a chance to visit with him on the desk. He's a 3-time PGA Tour winner. And speaking of champs, how about the winner of the Barracuda Championship from 2018, Andrew Putnam, also the runner-up here in 2021 at Old Greenwood. He's had a nice first day, 12 points. And an interesting story of what happened to him this week.
He had to overcome something.
Maybe limiting him, but still one of the leaders after day 1.
There's no way you can guess what happened to Andrew Putnam, but you're going to find out later on in the show. As for what's coming up next, it's the local kid in the field, the Bishop Minogue product, Ollie Osborne, and brother Steven on his bag. We'll visit with those guys next as NSN Tonight rolls on from the Barracuda Championship.
Back here from the Barracuda Championship in Truckee, joined by the brothers Osborne. We've got Steven and Ollie, Bishop Minogue High School. Ollie, you just finished up playing now your 3rd time in the Barracuda Championship. And what an incredible rally you had down the stretch in this one. You had 5 birdies over your last 8 holes. You finished +5. What a finish for you today.
Yeah, much needed.
Let's talk about how you started. You had 2 birdies and then hit a pretty rough patch. 2 bogeys, a couple doubles, then another bogey. So 5 holes in a row did not go well for you. How did you kind of dig yourself out of that?
Yeah, honestly, it didn't feel that bad on those 5 holes. It just kind of happened, and it happens quick when you're out there. And then Stevie gave me a hug on number 2 fairway.
Is that what changed it?
I think that's what
Little
changed.
brotherly love?
That's all I needed.
It's kind of fun, thinking back, covering this tournament and you guys being in it, but we had you guys both together sitting on our desk when we were at Montreux back in 2019. At the time, you were still in college. You had just finished right at the University of Nevada. Was that
right before?
Like straight after, or were you still in school?
I actually had one class to take that summer. So I finished that summer.
Basically, it finished. So Steven played at the University of Nevada for the Wolfpack, and you guys got to share that experience together on what was your home course at the time at Montreux. I guess we'll start with you, Steven. It's kind of crazy to think back, right? 6 years ago, you guys were doing that. Now you're back here in Truckee.
Yeah, we were walking to the first tee today, and we're like, it's funny how, it's still exciting every week we go on tour, but I was like, I think every time we've come out, it's been like, this is a little bit more relaxing this time around. And Ollie's played in a couple of these now and a couple other PGA Tour events and plays full time now. So I think that it was kind of peaceful and fun to be back in the same spot, but also have a little bit of experience coming in.
Is there a little bit of comfortability now just with this tournament, the format? Obviously, the golf course, it's in your backyard. Now you've played it in a professional setting, for the second time. Do you feel a little more comfortable?
Yeah, definitely more comfortable, especially with 3 years as a pro under the belt. So definitely a lot more comfortable than the first couple times.
How cool is it having your brother on the bag, and your dad's here walking, and got some other family members as well? And what's that experience like for you?
It's awesome. Yeah, it means the world to me to have everybody out here and cheer me on. Stevie keeps me relaxed out there and keeps my numbers dialed. So it's been a lot of fun this week.
Is it a harder challenge? I asked one of the other golfers, if it's a tougher challenge for a caddy, playing at elevation, playing in this format. Do you find yourself needing to work a little harder?
Ollie actually gave me a very detailed cheat sheet last night, so he did all the homework. So I think that I got it pretty easy. And then I think growing up here also, adjusting elevation tends to be a little bit quicker and a little bit easier. And then he's here in the summertime, so I think he gets a little better gauge than maybe some people that are sea level all the time.
All right, so today, again, I started this by saying you've had 5 birdies down the stretch of the course. Really kind of saved your opportunity going into tomorrow now, really putting yourself at the time of this taping, you're tied for 44th at +5. When you got to 11 and you got that first birdie, what did that do to sort of take the pressure off?
At that point in time, I knew I needed to make a lot of birdies. So just kind of going at pins and firing, but to actually see a putt roll in on 11 helped me a lot.
What did it take just kind of, I guess, on the mental side of the game to not go in you get 5 in a row where you're bogeying or doubling, right? But I guess maybe now that you've had more experience understanding how to kind of deal with that?
Yeah, in my head, I was just kind of telling myself I'm being a big softy right now. And Stevie was there to help me. He's like, let's just go get some birdies and get it going.
What were you seeing during that 8-hole stretch where he really was able to knock down 5 birdies?
I just kept saying, counting down how many swings we had left. I was like, just go be tough for an hour and a half. And I think I told him that on 13T after we had made a birdie and a par. But I was like, we don't have that much longer to go, and we'll get it in the house. But just go out there and play tough for these next few. And he went and did it. So props to him. I didn't have any part in that.
What was there a highlight in those holes where you're like, dang, that was maybe the hole of the day for me?
I played. Sorry, I'm so bad with the nines reversed. I think it was 14. That just hit a really good drive and then a pitching wedge in there at about 8 feet and just hearted the putt. And
then just kind of rolled on from there. What's the mentality now going into Friday? You played this tournament twice. Opportunity to make a cut in a PGA Tour event would obviously be a huge boost for you. What's kind of the mindset going into tomorrow? Yeah,
same mindset, just trying to make as many birdies as possible and staying as aggressive as I can. I think there's a lot of things that could happen, and I need to make birdies in order to make them happen. So,
all right, Steven, so you're here caddying now for your brother. You've kind of hung up maybe the professional side of your career, but we have to give you a shout out because you just won an amateur event in Dallas. So between the two of you, you've actually been hoisting more hardware lately than you.
I guess my last one's a little more recent than yours, but a little bit smaller event. I got some shop credit for winning that one.
Yeah, no, he's the better player.
You think so?
Yeah.
Still now?
Yeah. Take him in a money game.
You guys, how does that work when you guys get out on the golf course? So is there a little trash talk? Like, how does that?
There's a lot.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Is Dad, you still got with Dad too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's even more when he's playing.
Yeah.
How many do you guys give each other strokes? Or you going playing straight up?
I think I give him one aside. It's
Yeah.
kind of scary
one.
because he'll fire like a 66 out of nowhere, and you're just like, oh man.
Yeah.
But,
I've gotten some complaints about getting shots, but then I'll play around and everyone's like, oh, he needed more strokes. So it's a little bit up and down.
And you've had such an amazing journey. Again, we kind of started this with 2019 when you made the Barracuda Championship there, and you almost made the cut. Then you came back in 2022, but in between that, you actually got to play in the U.S. Amateur and had a really strong run there. Then played in the Masters that year. I mean, to kind of look back now over what's nearly a decade of golf, you've had some pretty incredible experiences. Is there one that stands out more than others? I imagine playing in a Masters is something that you can't really take away.
Yeah, I would probably put Masters as the best takeaway the last few years, and had Dad on the bag, and whole family was there, and that one's special. That's a really cool tournament. But I do love coming here and playing in this one too.
I know we talked about sharing this experience with your brother, but being able to do that with Dad, I imagine it's one of those kind of pinch me, like, been there for your entire golf journey and then be at the Masters together.
So cool. Never forget it.
All right, so now that you're back in town, is there anything that you have to hit? Like, do you got to get to a food spot? Is there like a place that's on the docket for this weekend to maybe give you a little juice?
I was in Canada the last 2 weeks, and I went straight to Chipotle. I was pretty excited about that one. As far in Reno, I just look forward to Dad's steaks at night.
Dad steaks.
Yeah.
Ribeye? We going New York strip? What's the move?
We've had a ribeye, and we did tri-tip last night, so we're covering all the bases.
We had Max Homa on the show yesterday, I guess sponsored by Chipotle. He gave us his Chipotle order. Do you have what is your go-to? Do you have a go-to Chipotle order?
I do. It's really boring, and it's just all brown. It's just white rice, black beans, usually double chicken, then just shredded cheese, and that's it.
What's on your?
I
Chipotle
get
guy?
a lot of slack. I get the tacos there.
Tacos?
But I don't think they know how much meat to scoop in them. So if you get the tacos without the rice, you end up with almost like 2 scoops.
There's always a good strategy. Everyone's got a good strategy.
There's a strategy there.
Good strategy.
So I get a lot of slack for it, but then I'm like, watch them scoop this. And everyone's like, you're not wrong about that. So that's my strategy there.
Love it, guys. It's so awesome to catch up with you both. Reno natives, Bishop and O'Grags, Nevada, SMU, but playing in the Barracuda Championship for the 3rd time. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Certainly be rooting for you to make the cut.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
More to come here on our special edition of NSN Tonight from Old Greenwood right after this.
Back at the Barracuda, hanging out here with Andrew Putnam, 2018 winner, back at Montreux. Nice 66 today, 12 points, and you had to overcome a bit of an injury sustained here in Truckee. Why don't you tell us about that first?
I know, yeah. I was out just, looking for frogs with my little boy, and ran into a bee's nest. Looked down, and I had I don't know how many bees bit me, but all over my ankle. So it actually was weird. Yesterday I played the Pro-Am. I actually played pickleball, and it felt totally fine. And then I woke up, and it just was like I got a baseball just totally swollen.
Well, if you get the dub this weekend, you'll have to thank the bees, I guess.
Yeah, all things considered, you're feeling all right. You're able to walk 18, and you played all right. How was it out there?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I was limping around, but it's funny. My wife actually had she packed like a bee kit. I don't know. She packs it all, with our kids. So.
Shout out to the wives out there.
Grab the emergency bee kit.
Yeah, for the hubby though.
Yeah, I don't know if it helped with the swelling, but yeah, limped my way around and played pretty good.
And very much in contention, yeah.
Take us back through just the memories you have of 2018. Obviously, different golf course, but being able to win this tournament in Reno and just kind of how that all played out, what kind of stands out as you kind of think back on that moment?
Yeah, it was a big moment in my career. Probably, it was kind of the year that kind of got me off and running, and had great memories. This is we got pregnant, and this is the first week we told my parents we were having a kid, and so felt like, when we come here, I feel like it's always feels like a vacation a little
Yeah.
bit. So it's very relaxed.
Takes the pressure off a little bit.
Takes
yeah.
a little pressure off. I mean, I always bring the family out because it's close to home, and we love just hanging out. Especially we're staying close to the course, and they got an awesome slide. So been going up and down that a million times.
Very much a destination out here. You're a west side of Washington guy. Tacoma, beautiful in its own right. What do you like about our region, though, each and every year?
I mean, I love coming to High Desert. We go to Sun River Bend, Oregon every year, so it reminds me a lot of that. I love how far the ball goes. I don't hit it very far, but this week, I feel good about myself, so that's nice. And, yeah, it's just a great time to be here.
Yeah, we talked to Ben Martin quickly, and he said there is a lot of math that goes down when you come up here and you calculate distances. Can you take us inside that and how different this is based on everywhere else you play?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, that's kind of the biggest thing out here is in the morning it's very cold and ball plays about sea level. And as the day warms up, you kind of constantly adjusting your yardage. So I've always tracked every single shot I hit, exactly how far it flies. So I'm pretty in tune with my carry yardage and stuff. But the one thing about out here, if you miss the shot a little bit, it just falls out of the sky. So it's important to hit the center of the club face.
You look back at the fact that you won in 2018, 2021, which was one of the first years here at Old Greenwood. You finished as the runner-up, so you know what it takes to be in position to win or be amongst the winners in this thing. I guess what have you learned about playing the system, playing the elevation that kind of gives you that opportunity to draw from as you go into this weekend now, being in good shape as well?
Yeah, I mean, you got to make a lot of putts, a lot of birdies. That's the key. The other years I played well, I snuck in a couple eagles, which really helps juice your scorecard out here. It makes up for a lot of other bad golf. And, I mean, avoiding those big errant shots and making doubles is huge too. But it's just a fun format. You're freed up a little bit, play a little more aggressive, and I love doing that.
You were reminding us about how after you won in 2018, you got to make an appearance at the Reno Rodeo.
I did, yeah. Yeah, they brought me out for like a
little skit, right?
media day, and they're like, "What do you think about going in the middle of the rodeo and hitting golf balls into the stand?" I was like, "Let's do it,
Why
man."
not?
As long as there's no bulls coming out.
Do I got to put a clown mask on,
That's one of the best weeks of the year down in Reno, so I'm glad you got a little taste of the wildest, richest rodeo
fun,
in the West.
yeah.
Andrew, what's the focus now going into Friday and hopefully into the weekend?
I'm probably going to go ice bath and try to get some swelling down on my ankle and see if that calms down. And I don't know, just hang out, go to the pool.
There's a giant ice bath up the road by the name of Lake Tahoe. Love to see you over there.
That too. That works.
Take a dip. Cool. Andrew Putnam, best of luck to you, man. Thanks so much for the time.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
All right, we're
See you
back
guys.
after this. NSN Tonight from the Barracuda Championship rolls on. Thrilled to be joined by Patrick Rodgers moments after he finished his first round, 9 points. You shot a 67. How'd it feel out there?
Yeah, it's always great to be here in Truckee. Just an amazing place, all 4 seasons, but especially in the summertime. It's a good feeling just being here in this town. And obviously, I enjoy this golf tournament. It's a fun format. We got perfect weather, and it was nice to play really solid out there today.
We were talking before we started taping. Yeah, 9 or 10 times to this tournament. You've experienced it at Montreux and Old Greenwood. What keeps you coming back?
Yeah, I mean, of course, we're all aspiring to be in the majors at the Open Championship. It's a tough one to crack, but this is, to be honest with you, this is almost a better alternative. I watched the golf this morning, and they looked pretty miserable over there. So, yeah, I will definitely take it. And, with the Stableford format, it's really fun. It's a part of the country that my family and I love coming to. So, yeah, there's just great vibes around here.
You've come so close to winning this thing. Actually, even went to a sudden death playoff a couple of years ago, and I remember that hole. It was just the way it all kind of set up. It was tough. What do you remember about that situation, and what do you sort of like use as that to maybe inject some confidence into yourself to that maybe this weekend is the time to get it done?
It's an interesting experience playing this tournament with a lead because you really need to stay so offensive in this format. Like par obviously isn't going to get you anywhere. It's going to keep you, in the same spot. And so to stay on the offensive, stay on the gas, keep trying to make birdies. I kind of stalled out my last 9 holes and gave Akshay an opportunity to come back and chase me. But yeah, I've had a lot of chances to win here, which has been fun. I really enjoy the format because I think it naturally just makes me more aggressive, which is something that I try to implement throughout the whole year. But yeah, hopefully this week is my week.
How have you been feeling so far this year? I know you've had a couple top 20 finishes. You finished in the top 3 at the Genesis.
Yeah.
How's the game kind of been so far all
Yeah,
year?
I got off to a nice start. Was right there in the mix there at the Genesis. And I've kind of struggled the last month and a half or so. Just a few things that have creeped up in my ball striking. But I've been putting in a lot of hard work, not really seeing a ton of results, feeling like I'm close, like every tour player says. But I feel like I'm starting to turn the corner. Today was really solid, so I need to put 3 more rounds together just like that.
Well, you can look up Patrick's career earnings. The game has treated him well, but you don't need me to tell you, over 300 events, still without a win. I believe it's the most starts on the PGA Tour without a victory. Does that hang over your head, or do you just kind of enjoy where you're at and it's going to come one of these days?
It definitely hangs over my head because I'm competitive and I play to win. So I've played 300 and however many times, and I haven't got it done yet. So, as a golfer, that's 300 failures. But of course, I have a growth mindset. I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to improve over the course of my career. I think I'm more served or better served now than I ever have been. And so the difficult part is wanting it to happen so badly, but needing to let it happen in order for it to become a reality. So that's kind of where we're at.
Well, you certainly won a lot in college. Tied Tiger's record with 11 wins at Stanford. I know that's going back a few years now, but how enjoyable was that experience? Did you come out to this region at all when you played for the Cardinal?
I love being out on the West Coast. It brings back a lot of great memories from my college days. Tahoe's a place that's really close to a lot of people that went to Stanford and live out in the Bay Area now. This feels super familiar. We really enjoy coming here. We try to turn this into like a little summer vacation, and I think it brings out some good golf and a really enjoyable week.
When you look at this golf course, Old Greenwood, are there any holes in particular that you just really enjoy playing that kind of just stick out in your mind? I know they kind of flip the 9s and now like 7, 8, and 9. Used to be 16, 17, 18. Obviously, those are very scenic and just interesting. But is there a part of the golf course that you like?
Yeah, I just think in general this is a great venue for Stableford because there's so many risk-reward shots. There's so many shots where you can hit a decent shot and be penalized, whether it's in a hazard or whatever, but the rewards are really good. There's, I think, 3 or 4 par 4s that you can drive.
Yeah.
There's 3 par 5s, so there's a lot of opportunity to be aggressive and kind of try to take the reins. And so it's fun to have a format that allows you to do that and kind of play loose and free. But yeah, that closing stretch is a lot of fun, but there's tons of stretches. Even getting off to a hot start, it feels like you're always a few holes away from really tipping the scales and getting yourself near the top of the leaderboard.
Take us into some of the extracurriculars. You find time to have some fun with the family out here?
Yeah, I think we're going to go to Donner Lake this afternoon.
Nice.
My family and I have all been a little under the weather so far this week, so we're looking forward to feeling good and getting back outside and enjoying outside here in Truckee.
Big
Patrick.
Indiana guy, right? Pardon me.
No, you're good.
We, of course, cover Steve Alford down in Reno. That's
Yeah.
still a pretty big name around those parts, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's an Indiana legend. That will always be
Heck
the case.
of a year for your Pacers, too, man. They were right
Oh
there.
man, I still don't know if I can talk about it.
I'm so sorry.
It was the most fun few months of my life as a Pacers fan, and then one of the hardest things to watch. So, but I will live and die with my Pacers, and they gave me a lot of great memories this year.
Hey, they're going to be in the mix again for sure.
Yeah.
All right, we appreciate you joining us. Patrick, we hope you can get it done this weekend.
Thanks, guys.
And good luck out there.
Good
Appreciate
luck,
you
man.
having
We'll
me.
see you in that final
Thank
group
you.
Sunday.
Sounds good.
All
Thanks,
right,
guys.
NSN Tonight from the Barracuda rolls on as Pat gets ready to jump in Donner Lake. We'll be back. Back here at the Barracuda Championship, hanging out with Cam Champ, fresh off a 13-point round 1. You shot a 66. How'd it feel out there, man?
Yeah, it was a very odd day. I really felt like I did not hit it well. I was just kind of just trying to just control my tempo all day. Just something didn't feel right, but I was just scoring well. For the most part, if I left myself, 15 to 25 feet, I was able to capitalize today. So I really think it was a little bit of ball striking with irons, but I made a lot of great putts today.
That included a 31 on the back nine. What do you like about this event? Third time here at Old Greenwood, the Stableford system. It's a very unique one for you guys, right?
It is, yeah. It's like you said, somebody can shoot, 2 under with no bogeys versus somebody can shoot 2 under with 4 birdies and two bogeys and beat that person. So it is a little odd with that aspect. Obviously, if you're on the right side of that, it's obviously beneficial. But it's different. It's fun. This event kind of feels kind of like a home event for me. I grew up not too far from here, so yeah, it's always enjoyable.
Yeah, so you're from the Sacramento area, kind of Roseville.
Yeah.
Did you get to play a lot of mountain golf up here in the kind of Truckee, Tahoe area when you were growing up, or even into like Auburn? I imagine this isn't like an uncomfortable environment for you.
No, a lot. You know, as growing up, you know, there was Dark Horse, the Ridge. We came up here a little bit, just occasionally, maybe once or twice a year. Definitely some junior golf in Reno. So yeah, like you said, this is very familiar for me. My grandfather actually had a cabin when I was young in Truckee, so we'd come up all the winters. So yeah, like you said, this is kind of a little home away from home.
So you've actually won 3 times on the PGA Tour. One of those was at the Safeway Open, which might even be more of like a homecoming as well, being in Northern California. What did it mean to you not only to win that event, but being the fact that it's kind of right in your backyard as well?
Yeah, I think just everything that was kind of going on that week and how I was playing, that was definitely a special week, one to remember. Everything went easy. It was just, it was the best way I could explain it was just the very free-flowing freedom, just playing. You know, I didn't make many mistakes at all that week. You know, I didn't make a ton of birdies, but I just didn't make many mistakes, and it just kind of kept me in there.
Last win 2021 at the 3M, so it's been 4 years. Is that something that you think about? Like, it's been a while, but also, man, some guys can go 300-plus events. We just talked with Patrick Rodgers, and he's still looking for that elusive first win, but is it one of those, like, I'd love to get back at the top one of these days here?
For me, it's just kind of one tournament at a time right now. You know, this year was definitely, it's been a very odd/positive year, kind of how the start of the year went and the end of last year. So, you know, for me, it's just been trying to do the same things, keep putting in the work that I'm doing, and then on the flip side, just kind of working on myself. I feel like that's the main key for me. So, like you said, with kind of how the last few years have gone for me, I know once I can take care of that, which I have been, and I've been getting better. I'm still human. I'm still going to make mistakes and maybe overreact on a certain shot, but you know, I'm heading in the right direction.
And you're still just 30 years old.
Yeah.
You mentioned your grandpa Mac, correct?
Yes.
I think we lost him about 6 years ago, but I think he was hugely influential for you, right? Can you just talk about the origin and your golf story and just how it got going?
Yeah. Pops, he started me. I mean, the first time I had a club was probably 18 months, 2 years old, kind of when he introduced the game. You know, my dad was an athlete back in the day, baseball guy, so obviously I knew probably initially he wanted me to play baseball. Even at that time, I think when I was born, he was like, what the hell's golf? Like, he had no idea about golf. But kind of as time went on, you know, my parents worked a lot when I was younger, so my grandma and pops kind of half raised me. You know, my parents would work all the way till 6 o'clock, and then they'd come pick me up. So, so like you said, it was just every single day in the backyard, hitting balls, and just eventually when I got older, started playing events, and it just kind of took off from there.
Look at you now, man.
Yeah. Kind of a cool side story as well. We saw that Marcus Bellin, University of Nevada star, was out there following you on the golf course. What's the story behind that?
I definitely know who he is. Like you said, being kind of from this area and kind of following sports and all that. Yeah, it was nice to see, and nice to just see the support in general. So, like you said, this is a very comfortable week for me, and to have the support is great.
All right, so you're kind of known as a guy that can let it fly a little bit. Being up here at high elevation, I mean, what are we talking about when it comes to average drives here at Old Greenwood?
For me, it's here it depends on the flight. You can hit the same shot with 2 different flights and it go 10 yards difference.
Like, does that something you have to be mindful of also?
You have picking the shot I want to hit. Like, if I'm hitting a stock shot and I'm flighting it, it's not going to go as far as if I'm hitting a stock shot normal height in the air. Kind of similar as drives, but you know, I'm playing around 10 to 12% for altitude. So, like you said, on the range, drivers were going 350-ish, which for me normal back home is 315 to 325, so it's about right on the percentage, and kind of similar with irons. You know, 6-iron was going 230-ish this week versus normal conditions it's around 210 to 213.
Okay, so if you're here, like, and you wanted to just crank it at high elevation, like, what do you think you could max out at this elevation on your driver if you wanted to just rip it?
I mean, yesterday I hit one with one of my buddies, Chandler. I think that one flew 359. But I was going at it. That one we were just joking around.
Yeah. Let's just see because
Pump-
we're up
pump-
here.
yeah,
right?
pump-
He
up
was
a
the
little
one.
bit.
'cause,
Why not?
yeah,
Might
for
as
me, I kind of hate doing it, but he was just kind of messing with me. He was like,
He's like,
"Hey,
come on,
hey,
man,
just
let
do
it
one."
rip.
Let it rip.
So,
When
yeah.
are we in Truckee, right?
Yeah,
Can you
exactly.
tell us about the Cameron Champ Foundation and some of the things you're doing through the game?
Yeah, so we started that kind of when I first came on tour, and it kind of stems back to just kind of where I grew up. You know, I grew up. The first golf course I ever played was a course called Foothill Farms off Greenback in 80. They had a program there. It was maybe like $50 for kids under 8 for the year, and I'd just play there. Same thing with Pops. At that time, you know, if my parents are working until the evenings, Pops would come pick me up. We'd go play pretty much as many holes as I wanted to. So come full circle, we took it over probably maybe 4 years ago now. And that's kind of where we're going to stem kind of the foundation out of. You know, like I said, my dad has a lot of roots back home with the community. I mean, he's been there since Pops got stationed there at McClellan. So that was, late 70s, early 80s. So, yeah, so we're golf is going to be the platform. Obviously, that's not everything, but again, it's using it as the platform to get the kids in. The ones that want to play golf will have everything you need to kind of improve your game, but then also just the flip side of kind of where I grew up on, I guess it would be the east side of Highway 80 was a lot different than the west side.
Yeah.
It's creating an environment for them, a comfortable environment,
That's awesome.
mentorship, help with books, studies, and just have a fun environment. So, like you said, golf is the main. We're using that as the platform, but that's not everything.
Does your little guy got a club in his hands yet? If the internet's to be believed, son Beckham 2 in a week from today, turning 2.
Yep.
Wow.
July 24th.
I promise I wasn't creeping on you.
Yeah.
But I mean, he got a club in his hand yet?
He has it, and the odd thing is, I think he watches me swing standing from this direction. So lately he's been swinging lefty. I'm like, well, that one's gonna be a bit tough for me. So yeah, no, he is a little bit big for his age, but yeah, we'll like you said, even that, you know, I'm not gonna force it on him. Obviously, it would be a lot of fun if he were to play, but you know, we'll just kind of take things slowly and kind of see what he kind of falls into and kind of go from there.
How has fatherhood changed your perspective?
It definitely has. Yeah, it can kind of bring you back in moments, like even, you know, whether it be a tournament or if, you know, you're kind of veering off, you know, mentally out there. It kind of just pulls you back into the circle. So it always reminds me, you know, what's important, you know, why I'm doing this, why I'm gone for. I mean, I've been gone the last 5 weeks, and I'm playing the next 2, and then so it makes it worth being gone that much.
Word. You got anything else? Because I do got one more.
Go for it, Mike.
Almost running
Jump
out of time.
in.
I did do a bit of a deep dive on the Instagram.
Yeah.
I saw you played a couple rounds with Steph Curry, maybe 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah, on the web.com.
We just got done covering the American Century Championship last week at Edgewood. Did you have your eyes on the celeb tournament at all? And maybe who were you impressed by out there?
I did watch it a little bit. Yeah, you know, Steph definitely has game. I remember when we played there. I think the first day he struggled, but the second day I think he shot even par or 1 under. Yeah. So I mean again, for the guy who's 70% of the year, I mean he's just locked in on basketball, and obviously he'll play out, I'm sure, maybe a day or two here and there in between schedules. Right. But it was definitely impressive. And I did mess with Charles Barkley. He's been a huge supporter of mine and kind of support with that. So I think was the first day. I think he holed out once, and then he hit a couple shots. Yeah, and then the following day there was a clip going around where he bladed one over the green. I'm not sure if y'all saw that. Obviously, I'm not going to say what he said, but
I think you were there for that, weren't you?
I was there for that.
Yeah,
he
you
had
got
some
that
choice
clip.
words for himself.
Yeah, I was dying laughing whenever
Classic
I saw
Chuck.
that. Yep.
It's always great to see those guys go to Tahoe every year and act like professional golfers.
Yeah.
Camp Champ, man, thanks so much for the time. 13 points in round 1, very much in contention. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, cool.
appreciate it.
NSN Tonight continues after this.
Exploring Our Backyard is sponsored by LT Automotive.
I desire better acquaintance.
You mistake night. Accost this to front her, board her, woo her.
This is genuinely one of the most beautiful outdoor theaters in the country. So housed here at Sand Harbor State Park, there is a beautiful outdoor theater, and it's sort of a secret. A lot of people, you'll see folks walk by on the boardwalk here, they won't realize that there's actually an 1,100-seat amphitheater right inside the park.
And thou that part so, Sir Andrew, would thou might never draw sword again?
When you part so, fair mistress, I might never draw sword again.
We produce here 7 weeks every single summer, 7 nights a week.
I'm now good at these cake shells as maple.
Great, I can cut a caper.
And I can cut the button to it.
This is a way to get out, to get outside, be with your family, be with your friends, sit in one of the most beautiful places in the world, and watch entertainment live right in front of you. And every performance that happens here, it's rehearsed. We practice it a certain way, but every night it happens just that one way, that one time, just for you. So there's no better way to make a memory as far as I'm concerned.
Every year we drive from Nevada City to Shakespeare, Tahoe, for our father and daughter tradition, and we've been coming since 2014.
No, 2011.
2011. And actually 12th Night, which is they're showing tonight, was the first one we saw in 2011 here.
It's our bonding time.
My woes, you will attend it better than you.
I love Shakespeare.
We both love Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Grew up reading Shakespeare plays in school, and this setting on the lake with the play, it's really amazing. And so it's one of our favorite things to do together.
This particular troupe also is just fantastic. I love them. They're fantastic.
The acting is good, and it's very creative. Even though it's in the original Shakespearean language, they set the scene at different times, and it's very easy to follow. So even for people that don't like Shakespeare or aren't really familiar with it, I think they can enjoy it.
Exploring Our Backyard is brought to you by Maverick. Save 10 cents or more on every gallon of gas every day by signing up for a Nitro card today.
A slight detour here from Truckee as we explore our backyard at the Shakespeare Festival. You were out there at Sand Harbor. You took that all in and put that piece together. What was it like?
Yeah, me and Zach Briggs got to go check that out. It's amazing. I mean, you look at the venue, I can't imagine a better place to take in a play. I mean, you're right there on the water. You watch the sunset coming down in the pine trees, breathe in the fresh air. It's an amazing activity to do in the summer. Like you saw the father-daughter combo and what it means to them.
How cool that you ran into those guys.
That was epic. I mean, it was a great experience.
There's a reason that comes back each and every year, because it is certainly a destination. Tough gigs for us the last few weeks. Shakespeare in Tahoe, ACC, then the Barracuda, and we're just getting started. Coverage throughout the weekend as they get set to crown a winner on Sunday. But tomorrow we're back in the Championship studio.
There's a reason why we call this place home. Got to take advantage of the incredible summer.
It's always great to get the perspective from the outsiders, because then it helps give us a little more perspective on how great it is here. Shout out to our entire Nevada Sportsnet crew. So much work being done behind the scenes. Our road shows at the CUDA are done, but our coverage continues throughout the weekend. We'll see you then.